to Lua. It's basically, they're calling it the trailer even to Lua's Prey, and it did nothing but show us the new frame and lots of howling. Hints to the new frame being a Warframe, of course.
No, I insist. You first.
If you insist. How kind. How very kind.
Kind? You must be thinking of my sister.
Where is the fair lady then? Should we deal her in?
Well, she sort of lost her head the last we played.
Oh? How scandalous.
My queen! Distract the restless! Where are we to hunt?
To Lua.
But they did talk about Lua Prey and it not needing the new war to be able to play this content. You will need to have completed the war within, but that's it. No need for the new war for this, which is of course great. It would have been really horrible if it was hidden behind the new war or Veilbreaker, so Voruna will be available if you once you have completed the war within, which is great because, well, they did kind of jump in and have a look at the new frame's Lavarian, showing nothing spoilerish. It's just a bunch of murals that didn't show the weapons. That would be the Perigale and the Sarafang, by the way. We'll get onto them in a second, or anything else. They just showed the murals that are on the wall. Obviously you will not be able to get this until you have got a hold of the frame. The frame will be dropping from the new Conjunction survival missions though, which are actually looking pretty decent. With Voruna, the Perigale, that is the sniper primary, and the Sarafang, it's an axe. I'm so glad they returned an axe, because it's been way too long since we've actually seen an axe. They will all be dropping inside of Conjunction missions on Lua, and yeah, every 5 minutes there will be a life drain enemy spawning. It's like a mini boss that's going to spawn. Then there's going to be a spectre that you're going to be able to stay around, and it gives buffs. It's not Teshin. Few people said this. There's one sword, not Teshin. But if you stay close to this friendly spectre, it will give you ability, strength, and casting speeds, which is looking kind of interesting. And there is arcanes that are going to be dropping from it. There are 2 different levels of difficulty for the Conjunction missions, and the higher one is just going to have higher drop chances from everything they said. Moving on to Voruna, during this, those wolf heads being her abilities, well, it could pose a few issues, but obviously we're going to have to wait until she's actually been revealed, because this is a frame we've been waiting for since her reveal back at TennoCon 2022. Why am I saying it that way with slight disappointment? All we have seen, including up to last month's dev stream, is concept art. This is the first time we're actually kind of seeing her, and that ephemera, the Akuri Tales ephemera, it's an ephemera. It's not part of the frame, so you can put it on any frame you want, because they couldn't decide if they wanted it to be on her, not on her, so they're giving people the choice, which I really kind of liked. And you know, the wolf, so 4 heads and the frame, 5 tails. No, there's a few more, and I'm not going down the rabbit hole of why, there are so many of these tales. They talked about her passives, and her passives are going to change depending on which wolf head you actually choose. You can change them mid-mission, and you can kind of see it in the bottom right which one is active, and it goes everywhere from immune to status to immune to death. And I'm not kidding, it is an immune to death, it is on a timer, and instead of you dying, the wolf head dies. Interested to see how long that time... Yeah, that timer needs to be a little bit longer than people would like, but hopefully not too long. Looking at her abilities, there is the Shroud of Dinar, her first ability where she turns invisible when not attacking. When attacking an enemy, it will end her invisibility, but it will kick in a buff that increases crit and status. Does have a speed increase to this as well, so she moves quicker, so we could be looking at a possible Loki replacement. Again, we're going to have to wait till she actually comes out, but the fact that she has the kind of sprint increase during that, she is a slow frame to begin with, but hey, we have a few frames that can now do exactly the same thing, so seeing a Loki replacement, no chance in hell, really. Second ability, Fangs of Rax. These are all names of the heads, by the way. This is a status effect stack, stacks up to 10 times, and can cause 5 random effects, I do believe they said, which is why it got really weird as to why people mentioned the fact that can these be mixed together. There's only 4 elements. If it's casting 5, yeah, that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, but it was literally said 5 random effects stacks up to 10 times. I know, because I actually have this stuff written down for a change. Subject to change, and that is my favourite part of everything they mentioned during this dev stream. It is all subject to change, even though it's released in 2 days' time on November 30th. Once killing an enemy, the status effect that is on that enemy will spread to other enemies within range, which again kind of makes the Fangs of Rax kind of a interesting one in itself. Mainly I want to see how 5 random elements, obviously one of them would have to be a combo if it does the other 4, or it does 4 random combos and a normal one, or 3 random combos and 2 normal ones. Yeah, it's possible. Third ability, likes Hunt, as a timed buff. Every headshot drops basically energy, melee kills drop health. They are increasing the health from 25 to 50, but that's quite literally all it does. And this is also her Helminth ability, so this is the ability you are going to be able to give to Helminth. Yeah. Pretty much all we can say about that, because that's, from what they say, all it does. But headshots, this is why she has a sniper rifle, and why they keep mentioning the fact that having the ability to get headshots is kind of important for her abilities. Then there is her ultimate, her 4th, Ulfrud's Descent. Puts her on all 4s, and she can basically attack up to 5 enemies, causing slash instantly. If it's a crit, it scales into the next attack as well, so you can literally get 4 crit hits, and 1 will just be a massive damage dealing. Yeah, that's when I started to get really interested in this frame, because, well, she's a wolf frame. She can hunt with her 4th and go invisible, so yeah. They've quite literally stuck with the theme of wolf by 4th ability going on all 4 and being able to attack 5 enemies. In that ability, it's not duration based, it's more attack based. So it's, think Valkyria's 4th, but limited to hitting 5 enemies. The best way that I saw somebody in the chat actually mention this. Arcane's is getting its own space on the landing craft as well, so early warning here. You may want to actually kind of move any decorations that are going to be between your mod station and where your Kubro slash Kavat slash that Helminth thing, I can never remember the name of that, because anything that's there could get sucked into it. They also showed Zaku's new, what was it called, the Kagura skin, and the Lotus skin that is going to come with it. If you have completed the new war, you will obviously be able to change the skin of the Lotus to put this on, otherwise you can't. 2 tenet weapons, that's right, there are 2 new tenet weapons, the tenet plinks that you are going to have to find a sister to actually get a hold of, and the tenet ferox. Sadly, there's no third one here, but there is a second one that is going to, yeah, you're going to have to buy it, and I'm kind of annoyed I didn't form more of those things, because now, like everybody, we're going to have to be heading to... I do not want to get on that ship again. But if we're honest with ourselves, they've shown quite a bit, but there's one particular thing that everybody was kind of here to see, and I'm a little bit disappointed on how they actually showed this, but who is the next Prime? Well, without any further blabbering, is going to be Baruch Prime with the Cobra and Crane Prime. That would be the sword and board, which is his only signature weapon. And then, I don't know why they chose this of all the other weapons they could have primed, the Furus Prime. It will be, well, it is one of the oldest weapons in the game. Like, it's possibly the first dual-wielding secondary in the game. We'll have to see how this fares up with the Dex Furus. Hopefully it will be better. They did show the stats, but I was going to mention the stats and go into everything else, but for some weird reason, all we got was no date. Sadly, they did mention crossplay a little bit, going on about, oh yeah, they're going to release it silently, but not mentioning any dates on when that happens. So really, even though they had to mention crossplay, there was zero update on crossplay apart from, ooh, I've added this icon. Yeah, but you've just confirmed what you said like 2 months ago, that you're going to release other consoles to it silently sometime in the future, but you don't know when. And zero dates as to when Baruch Prime, the Cobra Prime, and the Furus Prime will be coming, and that big ring that goes on the floor is also getting primed, which means it's just going to be golden coloured. And since it's energy based, we'll have to see when they do eventually give Baruch Prime an actual date as to what that is going to look like. But all of the other little things they mentioned, I'm not going to go into, like for some reason they talked about Orcus Venom rewards being given to Yonta, possibly, if you pick up that, oh, the Lua Thrax Plasm. But they didn't show it, so neither can I. So Baruch Prime is coming. That is who the next Prime's going to be. We're all pretty much knew this, so I guess we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.